So you finished a draft of your book, you think it's pretty good, and you're ready to get it out in the world. If you're like a lot of first-time authors, you're probably wondering, do I need a literary agent? And if so, how do I find the right one? In this video, I'll give you 5 easy steps to make sure your book finds the right home. The first question, of course, to ask is whether or not you need a literary agent. If your plan is to self-publish your book or to perhaps submit your book to either an academic press or a very small independent press, I think you'll find that a lot of those sorts of places will accept a query from an author without literary representation. So if those are your aims, you might be able to just sort of bypass this. That said, there are tremendous benefits to having a literary agent. An agent is your best advocate and, frankly, your book's best friend. From finding the right editors and the right publishing houses, to negotiating a contract that really works for you, to making sure that you have someone on your side when everything from cover design to distribution to sales plans are happening, there's no better person than a literary agent. So if your plans are to publish with a commercial press or maybe even one of the big 5, Penguin Random House, Simon & Schuster, whoever it might be, I really encourage you to think about beginning with a literary agent to make sure that both you and your book are being taken care of. So how do you find the right agent for you? A lot of authors will tell you to take a look at the acknowledgments page that are found in the back of most books, and to take a look at those books that you most admire or you think are the authors or the types of books that most resemble yours. And that can be a good approach in terms of figuring out what some of your favorite writers or your favorite books have found in terms of the right literary representation. But there's also some real drawbacks to that. First of all, you don't know if that agent is even accepting new clients. And if they are, and they represent maybe Nicholas Sparks or Cheryl Strayed or John Grisham, it may be that if your book is the next one of those great successes, they don't need another one. But they may be looking to diversify their holdings and their representations. So this is not a bad way to start, but there are also better ways to make sure that you have an agent that really wants you. And that's why I recommend that most people begin by going to the American Association of Author Representatives. This is an organization of agents that follow certain protocols and codes and who you can know have your best interest at heart. There are folks who are not represented or are part of this organization who have sort of made names for themselves by, sort of participating in fairly unscrupulous practices like charging writers to read their drafts, charging them to make copies, asking for money up front. Those are all warning signs that you are not dealing with a legitimate agent. A legitimate literary agent works solely on commission, usually between about 10 and 15% of any revenue that you generate for domestic sales, sometimes more for international sales. So a real warning flag for you to think about is this agent, this potential agent, asking me to pay up front? If so, that is definitely not the right agent for you. Members of AAR have kind of sworn a pact, if you will, to do best practices and to make sure they are very sort of ethically and scrupulously representing their clients. To that end, they take clients they really believe in and will also often foster them through every step of the process. They may ask you to sign a contract, and that contract will stipulate that they are working on commission and they are only going to make money if and when they sell your book. So this website, which is AAR, has a really great feature that I always recommend to folks, and it's their searchable database for agents. And you can just go in and scroll all of these agents and kind of see what they're about, but there are a lot of them. And so one of the things that I really like about this particular feature is that it allows writers to search for genre. So what you can do is you can pull up the search mechanism here and click on the different genres you think that your book may best represent. Say, for instance, that it's a mystery, but it's also a romance. You could click these and then take a look and see what you find. So here is a list of authors representatives who are currently accepting new clients, that's an important consideration, and who have an expressed interest in the type of genre that this hypothetical book may be. And so what we can do is we can take a look at this, see the sorts of things they represent, and then most importantly, see how they want to hear from new writers. I think a lot of people get so excited, their first impulse is to pick up the phone or stop by an office so they can talk about their new book and why they really believe in it. That is almost never the right way to go. As you can see here, some agents only accept new potential clients by way of referrals. So in other words, if you don't know someone who is represented by that representative, they probably don't want to hear from you. These other agents, on the other hand, are indicating that they are open to new clients, and very usefully, they're telling you how they want to hear from you. So most likely what you're going to see is that they request an email as a way of sort of initiating that kind of contact. So that's really great information. And then following this, if you click on one of these agents, you'll see things like their preferred email address, what they're looking for in that first email, and what they really want to know about you as they make this sort of first round of decisions. After you've had a chance to look through this database, after you've had a chance to pick, say, 5 agents who you think might be good representatives for you and your work, your next task will be to write a query letter introducing yourself and your project. In our next video, we'll talk about what to put in that query letter and how to make sure that the agent knows if you are the right fit for them. I'm Catherine Miles, founder of FINISHLINE. If you have further questions or you would like one-on-one coaching or consulting for your project, please don't hesitate to visit my website. And if you like this content, please click on the other videos and follow this trajectory towards making sure that your book finds a good home. Thanks very much and happy writing.